What's up, guys? Chatty CRC here with you. Welcome back to the channel. Doing a little changing, a little rebranding, all that kind of stuff, just because, you know, I like to do a lot more than just FPV. I like to play video games and mess around with certain things and tech and everything else. Most of the channel, I'm sure, is going to be related to FPV. If the gaming stuff or whatever gets out of hand, I'll try working on another channel. I've already kind of started laying the groundwork for that, but YouTube and everybody makes things kind of difficult. But you can see that I have changed channel name to Dorky and 40 because I'm 40 and I'm dorky just like most of you out there. So what we're going to be talking about today is I want to talk about a big reason why I got this whole like computer and built this and everything was so that I could play simulators, and we all started with Liftoff and Velocidrone, and what I want to talk about today is called Fpvair V2, and it's been out for a while on Steam. If we take a look over here, so here we are on Steam, and if you don't know what Steam is, you just basically download it for free, set up an account, and then you can buy games to play here on your PC. And Fpvair 2, if you do a search right up here in the corner, will pop up, and it's a $5 game. And I'm going to just come out and say it that I think this is the most realistic simulator that I've ever played without even having to make a lot of adjustments. It suits my type of flying, and I know the reason why I can kind of say I like the way it is the best is just because I've tried racing a few times and I'm not a very good racer, but racing on this is just beautiful. It feels so good. I'll show you the video and how it works and everything. It feels so good. The freestyle is almost as good. The environments are still being, this is like a single developer and it's $5, so you can't really expect a ton of development. He does have some downloadable content that you can pick up and buy a couple things, but you know, as far as all these simulators go, you know, Liftoff to me just does not feel right. I can't get it to feel right. Some people might say it does. It doesn't look right. It just seems to have blown up into just this big, I don't know, big something. I don't know. Velocidrone is just, to me, just following behind. And the one thing about Velocidrone is it's really system heavy. You know, the graphics and stuff on it, you can really crank up, but you really need to run a powerful system in order to get a lot of good frame rates. And the higher the frame rates, the better it feels. And if you've done any research on the FPV simulators, people will talk back and forth about, you know, you shouldn't have to do that. The developers should make the game run better and require less of a system. And I kind of agree with that a little bit. So, you know, Fpvair 2, you can play it with any controller. I'm using, of course, my FreeSky TARANIS here. Biggest downside about simulators is you got to pop your crossfire in and out of there, which kind of stinks. But this is the whole sim right here, and I've already got it downloaded and everything. And what we'll do is take a couple flights around, and I'm going to switch over and record with the NVIDIA experience. Hopefully that will give us good frame rates and stuff so you guys can actually see how this flies and what I like about it. So stick around, check this out. Alright, so we have Fpvair V2 pulled up here, and it's, as you can see, nothing spectacular. You know, you have just a basic quad that comes up. Input here is where you set up your TARANIS or whatever you need to do. Follow the steps. It's super simple to get everything running as well, so you don't have to worry about any of that. There is a beta flight configurator, which I have played around with this a little bit. Actually, this is called a great flight configurator, and you can change your rates and stuff it really makes a little bit of a difference, but not a total difference. And another downside is it's not saving the settings. I don't know why. If we go into the actual settings here, I'm going to actually bump this up here. What I have found that runs the best for me is my field of view at about 130 degrees, and then I changed the warp widths all the way up to like 200, and then I've changed the speed of time to like 90%, and that seems to give the most realistic look. So now that we have the look set up, what we can do is go into the physics, and these are the current physics that I'm running. And you can see that you have different presets set up down here that you can change. And then, of course, you can go in and do custom settings. You might want to set up a rate setting for racing, and you might want to set up a physics setting for freestyle. You know, there's a lot of things you can do. But there's just very little. I mean, I guess I've changed, you know, stuff. Pretty much everything, I guess, except for the air density, but you'll just have to take a look at it and see what you think. Tracks, the own tracks that come with are just all racing tracks. Downloadable content you can pay for is some night racing tracks, and then of course there is some freestyle tracks that are there, and he just put up an editor. So you can actually build your own. There is a multiplayer type of league going on and everything that you can do. There's, you know, the leaderboards as far as like different tracks and the laps and everything that are built into there. And then of course there's multiplayer, but there's no games in progress right now, which, you know, is fine.
Inactivity alarm.
Okay, TARANIS, I hear you. So let's just take a flight here. Let's go ahead and pull up the UAV Futures test track, which pretty much everybody is familiar with. Stu and the gang down there. And let's just take a flight here real quick. So it feels really good and smooth. A punch out, you can see the gravity brings you down really good. Maybe a little too fast that I have it set up with, but that's okay. You can see when your VTX starts to drop out there, it's very realistic, but just the smoothness and the way that this feels is just great. And probably most of it is it's running the Unreal Engine, and you know, it's not like super highly, you know, it's just enough. It's just enough to give you a good visual feeling. I missed the gate. It's enough to give you a good visual feeling, and then like kind of get the whole like physics going behind it too. Man, I'm having a horrible time here. So let me find out where I need to go next. Oh my goodness, I need to just start over. So you go down through there, go through the loop. Why isn't it activating that gate? Let me just go around here and start all over again. There we go. Whoop, into that tree. I swear I've done better. You can definitely tell that I didn't warm up for this video. Ugh. It's performance anxiety, I swear. Alright, so let me just cruise along here a little bit better so you guys can get a more of a feel for what the game is actually like, if I can quit hitting stuff. It's hard to get a look of how the game actually feels when I'm crashing all over the place. But this is how I actually race too. Guess I need to turn my rates down a little bit inside that configurator, so we can test that here coming up soon. So we'll take another lap here. Not the smoothest there, but getting better. Took that corner better. I'm telling you, this just, it feels so good. And now that I got the lens thing figured out and everything is just a lot flatter, It just works good. So, but you know, we do some punch outs and just kind of let go. You can see how, you know, you fall pretty good. You kind of got to get on the gas pretty early when you're coming back to the ground. It's just that touchy, but it's not like horrible. So let's close out of here real quick and go and change. Let's like change the rates down a little bit. Change it down to something that I'm more familiar with, and we'll add in some expo and see how that works. And let's just fly, let's just keep flying this track again. Alright, that's definitely made things a lot smoother. Could probably take my rates down a little bit more as well. Total concentration. Oh man, I cut the corner. Alright. So you probably want to see how freestyle works. So let's go and check out some freestyle. So these are pretty basic. Let's just go to Flop Park. I've been playing around in here a little bit. I've checked on all of them. My graphics are set to the highest as well, and you can see up in the left hand corner that I'm still running some really good frame rates. So again, it speaks to the development that he's got going on here. Oh. So we split us up and over the tree. Whoop, into the tree. Try to orbit this here. Man, that was tight. Power loops. Let's see how it whoops. See if we can how we can power loop one of these trees. Definitely gotta get on the gas pretty early. Probably change some of that with the the densities and the physics that are in there. I haven't really messed with trying to. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Let's check out another track. So here's the docks, and I think like every FPV simulator seems to have one of these type of tracks and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on here. I can definitely feel the frame rate drop, and things that have gotten not as smooth because there's just a lot going on inside here now. It's probably one of those levels where you might have to change your quality level if you don't have a super card. I have a 1050 Ti in here, so I don't have like a 1080 or nothing to keep up with the high frame rates. So, but that's the dock. So one more freestyle track. We'll check out the mill. The mill's pretty cool. It's pretty basic, you know, just kind of weird things going on all over the place. So it's like, you know, like a typical bando type of thing. With a crane, which is cool. So if we want to, we can try to do a Matty flip here. Oof. That's why you do these things in the sim. Check my camera angle here. 25, 30 degrees. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's check out the rest of this level here real quick. So you can see your logo here, you know, he's looking for sponsors and extra money and stuff like that, you know, to help with development. But, you know, as I said, this thing flies really good. And I mean, I'll be taking a look at liftoff and everything like that here on the channel too. But I don't think you're gonna be disappointed for this, especially for $5. Oof. Let's go back to the configurator here and let's put in my typical rates. Alright, so now let's check out some night racing. And these night racing tracks are pretty cool. Never done this one, so I don't even know where to go. So he does faster rates back now. Let's go to an easier one. I think the first one is the easiest. We'll hope so. Where am I supposed to go now? Where did the red dot? Oh, there it is. I don't know, that's a lot there. The track doesn't make any sense. Alright, to the moon. Let's race on the moon here. Alright, so that's a look at Fpvair 2. I hope you enjoyed that. You can see I've got about 3 hours into the game, and that's over a very long time. So I don't get to play The Sims much, but I do want to in between like Fortnite and all that kind of fun stuff. But it definitely is worth checking out. At $5, man, you can't go wrong. Speaking of checking things out, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Links in the description below for like some FPV stuff and everything I've got here to build my system and everything. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll be back with the next video soon. See you guys.